Okay.
So hello again from us. As we saw, during our breaks, we were fixing things and lots of games finished. So we want to have a look at the results and more fast to the games. We saw that Erigasi won the game, so we go to the next game. Kolar's Dimitri against another Indian player. So many. It's great army of Indian players. Yeah, let's go. This very interesting and popular line. Knight c3 and d6. As we mentioned before, Magnus played this for the first time.
Yeah, I think he was the first one who
in a game
introduced
against
it.
Wojtaszek. A very interesting idea. Knight c3 and d4, queen takes d4. I think lately I checked that Gawain Jones wrote an interesting book, Coffee House Repertoire, volume 1 and 2. And in the second volume, if I'm not mistaken, he deals with this line and gives very interesting ideas. So the line is already very popular.
Okay,
Knight
so
c6 and
continue.
f on queen d2 f5. Now, Victoria, if I'm not, guy is mixing up something. I think he's mixing up something. There is
Yeah.
this idea I will show here on taking, knight c6, queen d2, g6, b3.
Yes, with bishop.
And
H6.
here is a very interesting move, very
Yes.
interesting and popular move. But here I haven't seen it. I'm gonna check, but I pretty much think he's mixing something. It doesn't look that good. The pawn should be on g6 or something. Here I really like white.
Yeah, me
This-
too. I would be scared to play a move.
I'm
Like
not sure
f5
he
to be
needs.
honest.
I'm not sure he needs bishop d3. I would play in a more gambit style or something and go for long castle.
You
But
don't mind about the pawns, like
yeah, because I have so great
Yeah.
development. But as we said, to see more games, we will don't analyze that deeply. We will
so
just show
bishop
ideas.
d3.
And now long castle. That's a very interesting approach for white. He wants just to open up the lines. Long castle and maybe some f4 coming. It's very difficult to decide for black
How
what
to continue.
I think here d6, e5, f5. That's a bit too much. That's a
Yeah,
bit
your
too much.
squares are a bit weak now. g5 is weak. If you take on e4, you have the e4 square
As well as your
so-
king, huh? King hasn't castled yet, and
Yeah.
he won't find. I think in such a position he should go very fast to castle shot.
Yeah,
Very
otherwise
fast.
he'll be in trouble. But as
Yeah.
we said, f4 here immediately, probably.
Yes, and he's definitely better, but it's a game.
Yes.
But after knight b4, I don't believe this. Look how many
Pieces are
how much
developed and
better
they're
is my
playing. Yeah.
development. There is no chance that he can survive here.
That's true.
Definitely. Okay, actually, we're lucky to have some games that were, more fast from the, as we saw that here we see some guys not doing
Managing
that well.
to win
Yeah.
fast.
So e4. Anyway, I wouldn't have a suggestion for how saving the game here. It's already very big problems. But e4, knight f3.
It's opening too many lines at one,
Yes.
all at once.
Unfortunately, this is an opening catastrophe for black. If you go to some Sicilian lines like this and you play a6 and f5, moves that they don't combine together well, such things are possible to happen. It's a huge... So knight f3, bishop e7, and e takes f5. E takes f5 is a good move, definitely, but another simple move would be this, huh?
Yeah,
Look
I think
how
he.
harmonious the white pieces are, how beautifully placed, and I think it's finished. What do you think after ef5? What happened?
After e5, probably black just tried to castle, but it just
He had
looks
to castle.
terrible.
My God, he didn't castle. No, I don't. I don't like
But now
this. No
knight
chance.
d5, rook e1, all these moves are coming all at once.
Everything is winning. Everything is winning. A game that it's without insulting anybody or trying to show something. But I think that black didn't have a good day.
Yeah.
Something went wrong.
But it happens. Sometimes you have these bad days.
Of
so-
course. And here, just I think it's finished.
Yeah, because
They're
queen
okay.
d5 is coming, so
Yes. So
white wins the
so
rook.
some of the guys like callers here had an easy day, and we're moving on. Huh?
Yeah.
The next game is of Daniel Vocaturo, but we didn't have it. Ah, we're playing. We're
Yeah,
playing.
we're
Okay,
still playing.
excellent,
Okay.
excellent. Let's have a look.
So he's playing black.
He's
Caro-Kann.
playing black.
Okay.
And there is a change on the Caro-Kann and c3 and bishop f4. Normally we notice bishop d3 c3 plans, and it's very, very popular now, but bishop f4 is a normal move, very normal move, and actually it's understandable. Let's say he goes for knight d2, knight f3.
Yeah, something more solid, and I would say this is quite decent for white. I played it once. It was a concrete preparation, and I prepared very well for a position like that, and I can say I didn't have that much trouble winning as white. Especially, okay, if you're playing not so strong opponent, it can be very, very useful opening, but okay. Vacaturo for sure knows what's
he
the
will
best
do, yeah.
to do here.
And a very simple advice, although, I mean, it's everybody would know, but still it would be nice to say it. On bishop f4, it's very important what Daniel did, that he took the bishop out of c8,
Yeah,
not to play
shouldn't-
e6, not to
yes.
leave the bishop inside. Something very, very simple, but still I would like to tell these things.
Yeah, you either do
So-
that or play knight f6, bishop g4. One of
Yeah. So here knight 6. This is a very normal position, but knight h4 I'm not so fond of. I wouldn't like this move. I don't think you should go, grab the bishop. Maybe you could go bishop b5
instead.
instead.
And just some normal moves like
Yes,
castle,
yes.
develop.
It doesn't mean it's wrong. I mean,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
he did, it's fine. And
It's a normal move.
Bishop g6, taking, knight pawn f3, and knight g7. Now, slowly it gets interesting.
Yes.
Bishop d3 and f6, and the white player went queen e2, challenging move. I mean, the guy says, okay, maybe I'll go castle long, I'll bring the other rook, I'm hitting on e6. It would be difficult for black to do something else than e5. He has to go e5, as Daniel did, and now taking a very interesting position. Here it's a very interesting position.
I know.
What do you think?
What happens?
I can play 4 and give the check.
Yes, and what happens with the bishop after that? Because it seems like...
But I can go knight d2.
Oh, okay, so if I
You
then
will
take...
You will take, and I will go either g3.
With the idea to take on e4, and then, okay, there is no long castle.
Yeah,
But is short castle actually bad for black?
it's not bad at all, and actually I cannot make it work. At least in my brain, here and here.
And just win a piece.
For example, you can go somewhere queen g5,
Yeah, not
queen
too-
f5, and as you mentioned,
Queen
simply
g5
short
I
castle.
think looks really good because you don't let white take
Yeah.
on e4 with the knight.
Unfortunately, this doesn't work. So, I mean, e4 is very challenging. Very, very challenging. I mean, like, e4 is good. So, Daniel played a very brutal game. I mean, like, f6, e5, e4, and won this piece. But it's not the end of the story, because here, white found this very interesting one. It's actually extremely interesting. Queen takes e4. Looks good enough,
But what if I just take on g2? I'm
why
a
not
piece
change
up.
queens? Yes, this didn't happen, huh? I think it's a very simple choice and no problems at all.
Yeah, I would probably go with that and
And you
just
don't want to
exchange.
risk. You don't
Yeah.
want to risk. Maybe here something happened later, because I think this is a winning position, but we still have the game going on. So something happened after here. Here and
Queen f5.
yes.
So far everything looks normal. Queen d7.
You think maybe I should do something like knight takes d4 and try to?
Yeah, I mean,
But
why
which
not? Because
move?
then you kind of win you win a tempo, like it's your move now. So you have some time.
I want to play king f8, but it's very dangerous. I mean, like some rook d3 is coming.
Rook d3 wouldn't be so nice to face.
Can I go queen f6?
Queen
Queen
f6.
f6.
But
Rook f3, knight f5. It's dangerous, of course,
what
but
if I give a check
nice. King
and
g8.
then play? Oh, I don't have g4 because of queen g5.
Because of check, yeah.
I missed that check. Okay.
But of course you can start grabbing pawns, take on b7. My
Try
king
to
still
take
not
here
so
to here.
okay.
So rook d8, probably protecting the pawn.
Yes. I should be better. Even next move, for example, I could take the pawn on h2. I mean, like it's okay. I should be careful, but.
So let's say
play?
king b1,
King
threatening
B1, nice.
g4.
Now I don't have. Yeah, you're threatening g4.
Queen's out of the board.
Yes,
It
yes.
would be much nicer.
Okay, then I'll do. I would do. How do you tell me? Queen f7, but take g4. It's not okay for us.
What about queen? Doesn't that
Nice,
exchange
nice.
the queens
That's
immediately?
nice.
Because where do you go with your queen?
Not one move. Not one move.
You have to exchange.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this should
No,
be
no, it's
completely
great.
winning for black.
You see, it's very funny because we promise to see more games and more fast, but we can't. I mean,
But they're
we
just
want to
so
analyze, yeah.
complicated and
So
interesting to
complicated
watch.
and so many interesting ideas. But definitely, as we see here, black is better.
Yeah.
And Daniel somewhere messed up. We will see here, knight to d4 and queen d7. Already white has some play here.
Yeah.
White has some play. Black has to find concrete moves, and I think that it's
It's
not
very
that simple.
difficult.
It's as we said, doesn't matter what computer says. It's a practical game. It's a first round game. Someone traveled, someone
Yeah.
didn't have enough sleep or didn't, catch his first meals because either breakfast, lunch, something went wrong in his time schedule. So we shouldn't underestimate these factors. I mean, it's not so easy. So
Yeah.
over the board. Doesn't matter if computer says just king f7 and black is better. This is not an easy job.
On the other hand, when you're playing against a strong player, practically you are supposed to lose at some point because they would outplay you.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's much easier just to push sometimes against them because you're like, I'm not risking anything. I can just try, I can play this, and if I lose, I lose. That's it.
Yes.
There's no pressure.
There is no pressure. There is this alibi that I lost to this strong guy. Nobody will
Yeah.
tell anything. Nothing to be accused of. Yeah.
Yeah.
But also another phenomenon that happened lately. It's this story. Let's say that with the pandemic, that we were all, closed inside the house, and lots of the kids improved immensely. I mean, like they really, really improved.
Yeah, that's true.
Definitely, all of the professional chess players, myself included, we found some more time to
work on chess.
But to us, it doesn't reflect so much. To a kid of 12, 14, 16 that really stayed at home, studied a lot. Unfortunately, they were not that busy with school, with other obligations because of the situation that you know. And lots of the kids I noticed they focused a lot, and I saw guys improving very, very much. So you can play a player like this, a young guy who is 2200, and you don't know what you're up against.
Yeah.
After 2 years of pandemic, you don't know if this guy is 22
Yeah.
or 24, and
Like he's 22, but his level is probably
Yeah.
much, much higher.
yeah, and I noticed. I mean, in pain, I can tell you this summer, I noticed that the kids improved a lot, really a lot. So this position. And king g8, black is defending properly. And we said, black is better, but practical chances here. Lots of ideas. g4, and I stop your knight f5.
Yes.
And my idea is simple. I want to bring a rook on the third line. Probably rook d3, rook f3. It will start some
My
troubles.
rook on h8 is just, it doesn't look good at all.
Not much to do, huh?
So if I could somehow bring it to the game, do something. You said you want to play rook d3, rook f3.
Yes, this is my plan. I want to...
So I could probably go with rook h3, stopping you. But still, the rook on h3 looks a bit weird on the other hand.
It is, and also gives me kind of a tactical possibility playing knight g5, queen f7.
Yeah, I should be very careful not to
Very careful.
blunder
Although
something.
my knight g5, maybe it's a mistake. Maybe if you have rook f8, but really not easy to say. Not so. Let's see this rook h3 that you mentioned. Yes. If I don't have knight g5, then you're absolutely correct.
But if I give up my queen for like 2 rooks, it shouldn't be
We
good because we are already material
he's
down.
So this was a good move. And I think that here Daniel played a correct move, but it's very strange, this thing. Rook h6. His idea maybe to play g5 at some point.
But
To
yeah.
activate both rooks. But
Yeah, it makes sense, I guess. But I wouldn't play such move because it's just very difficult to understand the ideas.
True.
'Cause
Here,
what if I just play knight g5 myself? Not letting you do that. Not
he's
letting
very
you push.
eager to bring his rook finally, and this leaves me bring my rook. So
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
quite happy with this. Still,
That's true.
my rook on h6 has problems, but at least I solved one problem, and then we see.
Yeah.
But this position, I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly the variation. I'm like, okay, I love material here, but the rook on h6 doesn't do a very nice impression. I mean, like, not working properly. So I think it's unclear here. I think it's unclear. Computer will definitely take the material.
Yeah.
Definitely
for sure.
will say, black is winning, but as I mentioned, we're over the board. I wouldn't like to have something like this in first round and trying to see what happens. Rook h6.
Oh, it was
Rook
played
d3
in the
as we predicted. Yeah, very
Okay.
nice.
and
And
g5.
now Daniel activated both rooks. Okay, that's kind of nice. Kind of
Yeah.
takes rook f8 and queen g3. And he
Logical.
listened to you. Let's take the queens of the board. For me now, I think we could move on, but what's bothering me is that we see the moves, why the game is still going on? I mean, like, that's a totally winning position. What's going on?
Yeah.
I will a little bit fast forward because we don't have any chess reasons to stay in this game. I mean, like,
Yeah.
black is completely winning, but somehow the game goes on. Or
Maybe he made some
maybe he just
mistake.
makes
He
move,
blundered
huh?
something. Let's see.
Because or else just white prolongs the game. Maybe he
Yeah,
just stays there on the what?
Knight g5. Okay, I have
if
knight
you take
g3.
knight
Yeah.
d3, knight f7. All
Makes
right,
sense.
all right.
Exchanging more pieces.
Winning. No.
Or
he
maybe
has-
just
he has-
white is still
Can we
playing.
move to the.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, he has a winning position. Okay, still. I mean, just the white guy stayed quite some time on the board. Okay.
Yeah.
There is never a change of the upper hand. Black is always much better. But if I see here in the last position, something small happened. Some small mistake from black side. Small mistake happened. It's clean, but it's not as clean as it should be here.
Yes. He exchanged too many pawns, I would say.
Yes.
So.
Here, black is winning, but white will play on.
But he will
Like
struggle a
played-
little
yeah,
bit
he will
to
play on.
But we can move on to
Yes.
the next game.
And already we have many results.
Yeah.
So
So let's just check what's happening.
okay, Victor. Your
Okay.
turn. Let's see what's going on.
Okay. So another Indian GM playing against the French FM.
Seturaman is a very strong player.
Yes. All of them are just.
I think also
extremely strong.
theoretician. I think Seturaman wrote a book at some point, but either white Sicilians, white side Sicilians, something like this. Okay.
c5.
Oh, can we go a bit back and try to understand if this is a.
Are you familiar
Until-
with this
until
type
here,
of
yes, but
positions?
With this type of positions, yes. With b6, I'm not familiar at all.
Yeah, it looks a bit weird. I would probably go
This
for
is
something
theory.
like
There is some
d5.
queen a5. There is h6 and d5 moves. There are some moves like this. b6, I have no clue. Maybe not to overreact. Maybe the guy also maybe didn't know. But I need to check because b6 I haven't seen. And on knight b5, h6. Okay, let's try to understand what's going on.
Okay, knight b5, logical move. He wants to jump to d6.
Of course, he wants to jump on d6. and
There's no
maybe-
d5 anymore, so it looks good for white.
Do you think that? But okay, bishop h4 is a normal move.
Yeah, you
Oh,
mean
let's see the
take
normal.
and jump immediately, or
No, I was thinking if this I could do,
bishop
but
f4?
not sure at all.
Okay, but what happens after bishop f4?
Now I get more chances to play. Maybe I just play d5. Maybe I just play.
Maybe here, yeah, because the knight is no longer pinned.
Yeah.
So
No,
knight.
And there are
Yeah.
ideas if knight c7, e5. If knight c7, e5. So yeah. This
So
should
bishop
be-
h4 is the better continuation.
Yes.
Bishop b7, knight d6 as planned. Takes, queen e7. Trying to exchange the queens, I don't know.
This is this should be a mistake. This should be a mistake because it doesn't give so many chances to black. I think we should try to look for moves like knight e4, g5, trying to take advantage that white hasn't finished his development.
True. But it's not that simple here. Because if you push g5, okay, let's say you do it, bishop g3, and then what do you do?
I want to play such a move to put my bishop and knights a little bit in play with knight f5.
Okay.
But,
That's a good idea.
but you know, not so sure, not so sure.
So I go queen d somewhere. I bring my queen back because you want to play knight f5. So I don't have time to go with h4 or moves like that.
Yeah.
So queen, where do you think it's the best square for our queen?
Queen d2, queen d3, something like this. I don't know, but queen d2 or queen d3. Let's try queen d3.
Yeah, okay. Depends on where this bishop wants to go.
I have an interesting idea sometimes that I can even play bishop e2 and sacrifice this pawn. So
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
mind.
yeah.
This is how I will develop next moves. But
But now you're letting me play d5, knight
yes,
f5.
yes, and he has he has interesting play here. I didn't develop yet. White must be okay, but I don't feel that safe. Let's say so.
I always like moves like
H4,
that.
huh? Yeah,
Just
yeah,
to
yeah. Nice,
provoke
nice.
something.
Oh no, we should do that. We should do that. Let's see.
But do
Let's
we
see.
take on c4? What do we do?
If let's say this variation because it's funny. If he takes here, maybe I have something like that. Let's say, and bishop e5. Look how dangerous it looks, huh?
Oh yeah,
Maybe it's not. I mean, like
then just knight.
king g7, maybe. Huh?
Maybe also king g7 or knight h7. I would probably consider knight h7 first. 7 looks fine.
Knight h7. You think? Okay, okay. All right.
Maybe not exchange the queens, take on c4. Because
Yeah.
I'm
Just
trying
taking
to.
on c4. Huh?
Yeah, my idea is to mate you, probably. But then some rook c8 with a tempo.
Too many temples, yeah.
Too many temples.
Too many. Here, knight f5 or knight d5.
Yeah.
Actually, after here, I have knight e4 at some point also. You see, this is hanging.
Oh, true.
Too many
true.
threads. Too many
Okay.
threads here. Okay, we'll go back a little bit to
Black
the game.
should be fine.
Yeah.
Sure.
Bishop h4. No, b6 proves until now to be interesting. I mean, okay, not out of the game. And yeah, but black decided to play it very safe, and I think here he's paying the price because there is not something to show for the d6 square that I got.
Yes.
I mean, white has a solid square there. I mean, here's a classical, you know, like textbook advantage.
Yeah.
He's better. He's simply
For
better.
sure.
In order to take the rook out of d6, you will lose too many tempos. Just it's not working. Let's say.
Yeah, he has to play
Okay,
g5, rook
this-
g8, knight e8.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, that's what he
And
played.
now your idea. Okay, h4. H4
Okay.
and we go. Nice. Okay, white is better.
Why not knight e8 immediately? Just
You mean right now?
yeah.
And if I go rook d1, back,
Well,
it's.
I don't know. Then I'm in not such great position. Maybe knight
Yes.
e7, knight f5 again.
Yes, yes, that could be a plan. That could be a plan, but it's definitely, let's say, worse position for black. I guess we would take in some bishop d3. I don't know.
Yes,
And
that looks very well, very
yes.
good for white.
It's and another idea here, and build e4.
Oh yeah,
E4,
no,
F3.
you can push d5.
He's better. He's better.
Okay, that's
Okay.
perfect for white.
Okay, and this happened. G4 happened. we already have Seturaman. Yeah, he won this game. Let's see, h5. I
Really
start
nice
threatening. I start threatening some bishop
Yes.
h4s and things. So he's in trouble already.
And now this pawn on g4 is just
Yes.
very
Now we'll
weak.
take advantage of this pawn here, and here it is. And I like this next move. Very nicely played. He opens the lines, more and more lines to black king here. Doesn't matter
Beautiful.
exactly how he will do it, just opening lines, you know, gf3, gf3, rook will come to g1, he have two bishops, difficult to defend. After taking, here, and e5. Okay, although this could be a strong move,
Yeah, because
I want to
where
see
are
this a
your
little bit.
knights going after e5 maybe?
yeah. And another idea is the knight on e8. Yeah, in big trouble. I can always go knight b5, knight d6. But still in the game, I wouldn't play e5. This makes me. I mean, like for example, I would try to go for a move like bishop h4, g1.
Yeah. e5 is a
Interesting.
concrete decision.
Very, very concrete decision. Okay, probably he was just very happy with the position. He said, "Okay, now I do whatever I want with bishop h4." And
Sure.
actually, he's right.
Yeah,
Next moves.
absolutely.
Okay, but this doesn't help.
King g7, yeah.
I mean, there are troubles. There are lots of troubles. We can't really save them. Biggest trouble on d6. Let's protect a little bit. Okay. Am I worse? I'm worse, definitely. But King g7 didn't help much, and now trouble is coming. I can go both. I like this move rook g1, Victoria. I like this move rook g1. You know,
Yeah, you're not trying to do something immediately. You're just
it's
rook g1 first.
very elastic move. You know, in this position I can go bishop h4, but I don't know for sure if this is winning. Let's say I know I'm better, but I will go here and I will decide later. Maybe this check, maybe this check. I like this kind of technique. Of course, it's very simple. Everybody knows, but I will play first this move that it's good one, and then I will decide where to put the
Where to
bishop.
put your bishop, yeah.
It's very, very important. You see that I think.
And now we know where to put
And
the
now,
bishop,
now
yeah.
we know, and I think that the game somehow collapsed for black.
Yes.
Okay, it's kind of we like the underdogs, not the favorites, to put up resistance or something. But some of the guys have to take the points as well. I mean, we shouldn't
Absolutely.
kill everybody, you know, like it's the first round. So we're
This one we just
continuing,
check.
and we go to
To
Puranik. Yes.
Already
Already a finished
won.
game. It will be difficult to cover the 22 boards, but we will do our best. We want to have a glimpse of every board as
Everyone,
much
yeah.
as possible. That's why we want here, tolerance that sometimes we go too fast in some games. We could spend, but as every decent chess player understands, I mean, we could stay here for 6 hours and just analyze one game.
Absolutely,
we could absolutely spend analyze and reanalyze and recheck everything. Okay.
Let's see what we have here.
So you told me the white player is a woman on FM from Brazil,
Yes.
and you checked a little bit on
Yeah.
Alboredo Julia.
She
So,
was a national champion 1 year ago, but
women's champion.
yeah,
juniors?
women's,
Very nice.
as
very
far
nice.
as I know. She's a bit older than me, so I've never had the chance to play against her in these junior championships.
European and World
Yeah.
Championships, huh? Nice.
So let's see what happened.
In the next game, probably Barcelona scored or something, and I don't know what's going on. We will see. Okay, that's a very popular line, but I don't think that white takes on d5. I think here it's more normal, you know, to go. Let me see a little bit here. This everything is correct. d5 they go here, and now here taking, and bishop b7. There is the move bishop g2. This
And you
bishop
just
g2
simply
is
develop.
yes,
right?
yes, and very popular. It became this position here. Castles
Okay.
and knight c6. There are books here. I mean, I don't remember if it's the only move for black, but knight c6, rook d1, lots of games. But I think that here bishop b7, bishop g2. is not the, here. I don't know how much compensation there is after knight takes d5. So I think that white was not so, let's say, well prepared for the
About
position.
this position.
Yeah. So black doesn't get any trouble in the opening, and he has a pawn more. That's already a bad sign. Of course, it can happen. The Brazilian girl, she's trying to play against a very, very strong player. It's not so easy. And here the guy has a pawn up, and it's a difficult task, very difficult task. Bishop on e6, black plays very solid. He capitalizes on the extra pawn. The game is already tough. The game is already tough.
Sure.
Sometimes you see, Victoria, some choices like black. I mean, the guy who's on top, he doesn't play the best moves, but the most solid moves. And this is again because of